thanks to a joint effort between the Russian Federal Security Service, the National Guard, and police in Russia's Bryansk region, a potential string of terrorist attacks has been prevented. Just imagine what a Ukrainian recon sabotage group was planning when they left this behind after being caught in the middle of a forest in central Russia. These images we got from the Russian Federal Security Service deserve special explanation. What you just saw were checkmate plastic explosives, a total of 16 kilos found in the forest hideout, U.S.-made assault rifles with silencers, grenades produced by NATO partners, and that's not to mention considerable stockpiles of ammunition, detonators, and so on. All of that was in possession of a team of 6 Ukrainian servicemen. 3 of them were shot dead when spotted by the FSB. The other 3 surrendered. You don't bring along such an arsenal for a quiet reconnaissance mission. The group was sent across the border to the Bryansk region, a non-combat zone, to detonate, destroy, and kill.
On the instructions of the main intelligence directorate of Ukraine in August 2025, I was sent as part of a sabotage and reconnaissance group to the Bryansk region to commit a series of terrorist acts on important objects of the Russian transport infrastructure.
In August 2025, as part of a group of 6 people, I was sent to the territory of the Bryansk region. The group's task was to conduct reconnaissance of important targets and commit sabotage on railways and bridges. For these purposes, we were armed with special small arms, had explosives and demolition equipment.
What a timing. August 2025. Blowing up railroads in areas that don't serve the military is never justifiable, but orchestrating that kind of sabotage right when international peace efforts are finally really picking up pace, you decide what Kiev is hoping to accomplish with these sort of tactics. And I'll tell you, they don't come as a surprise, because remember what happened right before the June round of direct talks between Russia and Ukraine in Istanbul, in the Bryansk region. Yeah, the same one. A bridge was blown up overnight to derail a train carrying hundreds of sleeping passengers. 7 innocent lives were lost. The wreckage was so massive, it looked like this act of terror could have led to many more deaths.
We left the previous stop. Everything was as usual, the lights were turned off, and we switched to night mode. And then I heard an explosion and realized that the carriages had collided. People started panicking, shouting, asking what to do and what was happening. It was clear that this was not a collision. There was a flash. The first thing I did was get people out. I had injured people in my carriage. One woman had a broken spine, and another woman flew into my office and hit her head. It's very difficult to remember because it was so scary.
Now, there's some very important info from the investigation that we've already begun showing you. The commander of the group that was neutralized in the Bryansk forest said the bridge had been taken down by a similar squad of Ukrainian saboteurs, just like his own, and even revealed the name of his fellow commander.
I know that the mining of and blowing up the automobile bridge in the Bryansk region in May 25 was carried out by a group that is part of Ukrainian Special Operations Forces. The commander of the group was Captain Maxim Saloshak, call sign Fox.
And the man you just saw and his group have a record of sabotage on Russian soil. He admitted to planting a bomb on a railway in the Belgorod region in September last year. The blast damaged 10 meters of track. No wonder a train derailed as a result. Luckily, it was an empty freight train, and the driver and his assistant were not seriously hurt.
I can report that in September 2024, my sabotage and reconnaissance group carried out the detonation of the railway track in the Belgorod region.
And finally, the cherry on top of this story is where these terrorists from the Ukrainian armed forces received their training. Who prepared them for these heinous acts of sabotage is also quite telling.
I was trained in military specialties in medicine in Ukraine and Norway.
Before being deployed to Russia, we were trained in special camps where the instructors were citizens of Great Britain, Canada, and other European countries.
According to the Russian Federal Security Service, the saboteurs also underwent training in places like Lithuania and Estonia. How's that for teamwork on the part of the civilized Western world? Needless to say, Moscow has launched all the necessary criminal proceedings. The investigation continues.